Hello, and welcome to RX Science. You probably don't know what the circulatory system is. In this video, I'll explain the circulatory system. Your circulatory system is sort of like a transportation system in your body. It carries and distributes things like nutrients, sugar, and oxygen all around your body. If the circulatory system is the transportation system, blood is the vehicle. Blood is actually the liquid that carries the oxygen, nutrients, waste, and other substances. Waste is picked up by your blood and is taken to your kidneys. CO2 or carbon dioxide waste is carried in your blood to your lungs where you exhale it. If blood is the bus, plasma, red blood cells, white blood cells, and platelets are the parts that make your bus or vehicle. So first off, I'll explain to you what plasma is. Plasma is a liquid that carries the essentials, and by essentials I mean sugar or glucose, nutrients, minerals, vitamins, CO2 or carbon dioxide, and waste. Red blood cells are cells that carry oxygen. Now I'll explain to you what white blood cells are. White blood cells are cells from your immune system that fight against germs, bacteria, viruses, and diseases. For short, it fights bad things that can harm your body. Platelets are cell fragments that stop or stitch the bleeding when you get a cut. Like, let's say you scratch yourself. Over time, it heals with this, like, red or blackish thing, which when you scratch it hurts. Those are basically platelets stitching your cut. Your heart is basically what controls your transportation system, aka your circulatory system. Your heart pumps blood to different parts of your body. Your heart has four different parts. It has a left and right atrium and a left and right ventricle. Oxygen rich blood flows from your lungs to the left side of your heart, first through the left atrium and then to the left ventricle. From there, it's pumped to the rest of your body through the aorta, which is a very large artery. The oxygenated blood moves throughout your body, releasing oxygen and collecting CO2 or carbon dioxide. The deoxygenated blood returns to your heart and it goes through the right atrium and gets pumped back to your lungs from your right ventricle. Once in the lungs, the blood collects oxygen and releases carbon dioxide, starting the process all over again. I will quickly explain to you from where your blood starts and where it ends in a very short way. So, first, oxygenated blood from the lungs to your left atrium, to your left ventricle, through your aorta to your other arteries, capillaries, which is the exchange of oxygenated blood for deoxygenated blood. Then it goes to the right atrium, then to the right ventricle, then it goes to the lungs for oxygenation, and then that basically starts the process all over again. Your blood vessels are like the roads and highways of the circulation system. When your body pumps oxygenated blood to the rest of your body, it is carried by vessels, or blood vessels. Blood vessels that carry blood away from the heart are called arteries. Because arteries need to regulate how much blood flows to each part of your body, they have thick muscular walls that can expand and contract to let more or less blood flow through. From the arteries, blood moves into tiny blood vessels called capillaries that deliver blood directly to the cells in your body. After your blood has dropped off oxygen, glucose, and nutrients to your cells and picked up CO2 or carbon dioxide and other waste, blood starts to make its trip back to the heart in blood vessels called veins. To keep all the blood traveling back to the heart in the right direction, veins have one way valves that allow blood to only move in one direction. Now I'll ask you a few questions that I went over in this small talk. The first question is, what kind of gas exchange takes place in the lungs? The next question is, describe the vessels that blood travels through from the time it leaves your heart to the time it returns. And now, which cells carry oxygen? For the last and final question, I'll ask you, after blood gets oxygenated in the lungs, what part of the heart does it go to first? Now, after you have written your questions or you know your answers in your mind, I'll tell you the correct answers. So, for the first question that I asked you, the answer was your blood picks up oxygen and expels carbon dioxide. The next question, the answer for that one was blood leaving your heart travels through arteries to capillaries. Nutrient and gas exchange with surrounding cells takes place in capillaries. After traveling through capillaries, blood returns to the heart through veins. Then the next question I asked you, the answer was red blood cells. And the final answer was left atrium. Okay, so bye and thank you for listening to my small talk and hopefully you learned something new.